Hey Harvest, before we start experimenting with in-home haircuts here at the Veenstra household, I wanted to send you a video greeting and word of encouragement today. One of the things I came across in my reading as this whole lockdown thing started was a letter from the Scottish pastor Robert Murray M'Cheyne. And M'Cheyne, who was 26, was separated for a time from his congregation in Dundee, and he wrote them a letter to encourage them in spite of their separation. And he had in mind the Apostle Paul's words from Philippians 1:12, where Paul says that what had happened to him, namely his imprisonment, had really served to advance the cause of the gospel. And M'Cheyne in his letter highlights a number of ways that the Lord was at work to advance his purposes through this separation. But I want to share with you two ways that he mentioned that were an encouragement to me. The first he mentioned was that the period of separation was for the strengthening and sharpening of God's ministers. Just like a tradesman might take his tools away for a time to sharpen them and get them ready for the next job, so God for a season might remove his ministers from their ordinary work to sharpen and prepare them for future service. And I just want to testify that that has been my experience, I think, during this time. The Lord has used it to just give me some rest, give me a renewed joy, especially thinking about the heart of Christ for his people as I've been reading the Bible and reading other edifying books. It's given me a chance to get greater clarity on my ministerial calling, and so it's been a really good time, and one that will hopefully lead to me serving the Lord and serving you better in the future. But also M'Cheyne notes how during the separation we can give thanks to God who works just as well apart from means as he does through them. God ordinarily works through pastors, elders, deacons, the ministry of believers to one another to build his people up in grace, and we give thanks for that. But God is not limited to those means, and he's not hindered when those means are not readily accessible by us. M'Cheyne has in his letter a beautiful section where he talks about how God is able to water the flowers on the lonely mountainside just as well as we water our flowers in the garden, so that his flowers under the ministry of the Holy Spirit will appear just as beautiful and strong as if we had been together. And that's a great comfort to me as one of your pastors, as a Christian, to know that though we can't be together in the same way, our all-powerful God, who is present everywhere, is ministering to us. He's ministering to his people, not only so that we would stand in grace, but so that we would grow in grace. The other day, I had to stop at the church to pick something up, and I took my daughter Lucy with me. And after I came back out to the car, I took her for a walk around the outside of the building, and she exclaimed in her Lucy way, "We haven't been at church in a year." And I laughed. But it certainly feels like it's been a long time, even if it's not been a year. And so I just want to say that I look forward to us being together soon, Lord willing. And I look forward not just to being together, but I look forward to seeing how God, by his gracious provision, has helped you not only to stand in grace, but to grow in grace during this time, so that he might receive all the praise and glory. I love you, Harvest, and looking forward to seeing you soon.